Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's AMA. Oh my gosh. We are here. Chapter 2 is here. If you were hanging out with us yesterday, hello again. If not, welcome. We're so excited. Today's a big day. Today's our first AMA post Chapter 2 launch. So yeah, the video you just saw is our official release. So if you haven't yet, it is seen it. Obviously, you just watched it, but it's also posted on YouTube, so you can go check it out on our YouTube channel. This background is not working for me today. I don't know what's going on. I might need to go turn on another light. But anyways, I am here. I exist. Anyways, okay. If you have any questions, throw them in the YouTube live chat or the Twitter live chat. This will not be a 4-hour live stream. Someone just asked. This is just our regular AMAs, guys. But if you do want us to do that more often, I'm down. I had a blast yesterday. So, okay, let me bring up Luke. And yeah, I already said it. If you have any questions, throw them in the YouTube live chat. We'll be monitoring. What's up, Luke?
Hey guys. So really big day today, right? First, it's not even been 24 hours since chapter 2 release. It's been like 22 hours. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we need to basically talk about today. There's a few things I want to address like right off the bat. So we released chapter 2 yesterday, and we had like pretty positive reception in general, but there's also a lot of things we're getting feedback on that we want to change too. So a lot of the approach with chapter 2 is we're releasing it to all of you with the expectation from you guys to us that we're going to be making fixes and changes really quickly too. So Pixels operates like a very non-traditional game studio. We basically break every single rule that most game studios follow. And this is pretty intentional. We think that crypto gaming is still in the space where you don't really know what's going to work and what's not going to work. And what we prefer to do is get stuff out quicker and then get feedback from all of you to fix things. Now, if you've been following Pixels for a long time, you know that we have a track record of doing this. When we first released chapter 1, it was kind of a mess initially. And over the first like 2 to 4 weeks, it got a lot better. And that's going to be the same thing with chapter 2, right? So if you've noticed, we've been very active on social media. We've been pretty active inside of the Discord. We have a team that's kind of funneling in all the different pieces of feedback to make chapter 2 better and better. And that's kind of our promise to all of you. We're going to be trying to do daily updates if possible, at least updates to the task board every single day to make it feel better. So here's some of the feedback that we've been getting in 2 of the main areas of focus that we'll be doing over the next like 4 to 5 days, and then over the next 2 weeks as well too. 1, task board earnings are not very balanced right now. We're working on fixing this right now too. One of the main intentions behind chapter 2 was we want to make it so that if you're a dedicated player of the game, you actually earn more pixel inside of the game than you did before. It looks like there's maybe some bugs or tweaks that we need to do inside the task board to actually make that happen. And we'll be rolling out a task board update today to address some of those first issues, and likely another one tomorrow, dig into some of the other reasons why you might not be getting pixel as well too. So again, if you're earning less pixel inside of the game, that's a big issue because that's actually exactly the opposite of what we wanted to do. We haven't nerfed rewards intentionally, and we're about to actually increase rewards to all of you as well too. So stay tuned. Updates should be coming in the next couple of hours for the first part of this. We're going to start to increase pixel rewards to people who are a little earlier in the progression, and also increase rewards as well too. We might even increase the pool. So for example, we've been giving out about like 15 million pixel a month lately. I think we're going to start to increase that slightly, so that you all should be getting more pixel per player. The end goal and what we're trying to achieve is more pixel for the real players. And if we're not achieving that, that's actually probably one of the biggest faults of chapter 2. So we have updates coming soon. We'll be tweaking this basically every single day. Give us your feedback on how it feels, because if you're not getting those earnings, that's actually, again, one of the biggest issues initially. Like part of the reason why we're releasing chapter 2 is because we wanted to make sure that the game was more anti-bot, Sybil resistant, and more pixel was going to the hands of real users. So there's a few issues there. Bear with us. This is a whole new task board, a whole new game balance, a whole new economy that we have to figure out. And there's some basically like tech bugs that we have to figure out too. So it actually looks like some of the higher levels are not getting the pixel tasks that we want them to be getting. Again, like we'll be updating day by day. You should be getting more pixel if you're a higher level player, if you're like a landowner, like all these different things than what you were before, especially since this update just killed like tons and tons of bots. So there's a lot of good that's come with this, but then a few areas that we need to focus on and change too. So again, our promise to you is that we're going to be fixing things, changing things as you guys see fit, and also taking feedback from the other parts of the game that you guys see as well too. So one of the other areas of feedback that we're getting a lot of comments on is energy. Energy is a lot harder to get now. Cooking's been changed. We hear you. We might make some tweaks to that over the next week as well. Like for example, we maybe will increase like VIP energy, some other things like that. The team is looking at all the different pieces of balance, and we're trying to make decisions around this. So don't be afraid. Our promise to you is that we'll do really, really frequent updates. If the game is still in a bad spot in a week, start getting mad. Maybe don't get mad, but that's more of an issue, right? So we know with a big update like this, we have to prove some stuff to you, right? We are still in a phase where we're very early inside of Web3 gaming, and we know that a lot of Web3 gaming teams have disappointed. If we disappoint all of you, then we're stuck in the water. That's not very good, right? You guys are our user base. We are here because of all of you who are playing Pixels every single day. And we want to make sure the game feels fun for you. We want to make sure that you feel like your time is being valued. We want to make sure that you guys are being heard. So yes, we'll be making some changes here. Again, one of the key goals over the next couple of days is to make sure that the earnings feel better for players who are further through the game. And we will be rolling out updates kind of on a daily basis. Some other minor things too, we'll be rolling out some new quests around reputation. So if you don't have reputation to access certain features, we'll start making that more accessible as well. We had to sunset some of the old quests. So if you had reputation from things like the Why Not quest, you keep all of that. For new players, we need to kind of work on this as well. And then, yeah, we hear your feedback on the stacks. We'll be thinking about what we do with this moving forward too. Like what I can say is internally, it was kind of a split decision if we move forward with that. I think we're going to keep it as is, but there might be some things we do that make it feel better. So give us your feedback on that. I'm seeing all the comments in our live stream right now. A lot of you hate the 99 stack change versus the 999. So maybe there's some things that we can do to make that feel better. Like one example, we'll talk on the design side this week about what we should do here is RuneScape has a note system where you can put items into notes so that it's not as crazy in your storage or all of this kind of stuff. I know it makes the marketplace experience feel pretty bad. And I know it makes the like old player experience feel not the best too. So again, we're going through all this feedback. Our promise to you is that we don't want to lose you as players, right? We want to listen to all of you. We want to make sure that the game feels good to you guys. So again, if you say anything that you don't like about the game, it actually helps make the game better. So don't feel afraid to hold back on your thoughts about Chapter 2, because the whole point of what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get the feedback from all of you guys to make the game as good as possible. Now, I know it's not in the perfect state right now, but we think the improvements are a lot better in the long run. So there's a whole bunch of people that have a whole bunch of different thoughts. We're essentially combining all this feedback. We're doing updates really, really soon. And then we're also starting work on some larger initiatives too. So Chapter 2, why we like getting this out is that it gives a better base for gameplay in the future. Now it's a lot easier for us to create content in terms of content packs. So one of the first content updates that we have planned is around the business skill. You'll start to see new resources introduced into the game and new tiers for things like wineries and apiaries as well too. If you have an apiary in the game now, don't freak out. We're actually going to incorporate it into the tier system. So your apiary in the game will be the highest tier. It'll give the most pixel. And then we'll probably do like tier 1 apiaries. We might even skip tier 3. So there's some things like that too. Give us some feedback on how you guys think about this kind of stuff. But yeah, we're putting some more work into there too. So let's think about some other housekeeping. Yeah, so we're also starting some work on some larger initiatives too. I think when we were talking about prioritization, the roadmap this week, we were planning like what the next 3 months of Pixels look like. And one of the things we're going to start to work on is a guild task board and the idea of contestable land. So we're going to start to introduce tier 5 and tier 6 resources soon. Those will only be available on the new type of land that we're introducing, where you're basically going to have to compete to get access to this land. There'll probably be some kind of guild play associated there. And that's where the most valuable resources that are turned in for the most pixel will be found, this new form of contestable land. So that's all getting worked on and started. And there's a lot of work here. So yeah, one of the things that we get a lot of feedback on right now, or one of the things that we're seeing, is a lot of people don't like the 0.1 pixel tasks. What we're about to do today, the update that we're going to push today, is we're going to start to increase the frequency of these tasks. So you're going to see more and more and more of them. So ideally, the situation is that there's some more earnings. If this doesn't feel good still, then we'll start to increase the task amount as well too. But the idea was, when we started introducing the lower pixel tasks, like the 0.1, the 0.2, all of this, is that the frequency would increase. And also you would start to see more pixel at higher levels. It looks like the actuals aren't reflecting that data. So there's a few bugs that we need to fix there. But we should fix this in the next day or two. So again, the end goal here is that you earn more pixel than you did before. If you're not doing that, then there's some things that we need to fix on our side to actually make that happen. It's kind of hard to test that in play testing when you don't have millions of users playing. So now we can actually get the real data, look at all this kind of stuff, and then figure some things out. So I guess now what we can maybe do is go into some of the questions. We can maybe talk about some of the comments. And
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do
go
it.
into all of this.
Okay. All right, let's go through a couple things here. First of all, I hope not, but that has me thinking like maybe we should implement bed bugs, you know? Like you're doing yourself a disservice here. But if you mean like a little bit of a bug where you get stuck in the bed, yes, we're aware of that and we will be fixing it. And you can use the Drunken Goose link to get out of it. It'll just take you over to the Drunken Goose interior. So if you need that link, let me know. Okay, this one I wanted to talk about. Increase the success chance in mining. Okay, so right now you guys are all low tier, right? You're all like 1, 2 tiers. You're not getting as much of a pull, right? The higher tier you get, the better your pulls are and the less likely you are to not have a successful one. So just make sure that you're tiering up and you will see your success rate increase, right? The more you play, the more you'll get, if that makes sense. All right.
Please bring the 999 stacks and don't experiment with solutions to this. This is way more of an issue than you realize, and we don't want more in space or storage or anything like that. Yeah, we'll talk on the team what we do about this. This is one of the most unpopular changes of Chapter 2 is what I can say. We've gotten a lot of feedback on this. Yeah, this is something that we'll talk about and then come up with a solution. Again, we want to make a game that feels good and fun to you guys. And this is one of those things where it's like, we probably should have made the stacks 999 just 99 2 years ago. It's kind of hard to have changed it halfway through the game. And we can understand why this is unpopular. We're going to talk about it and come up with something better around this. This particular change might take like a week or so to come up with a final decision as well, say.
Okay, sorry. I'm getting inundated with messages everywhere. Okay, let's see. We already you kind of covered a lot of the questions that we pulled aside already.
Because I have been on it. I've been scanning Twitter. I've been scanning Discord 24/7. This is the most important 2 weeks at Pixels that we've had in a very long time. What we need to do with our community is we need to make sure that we have your trust that we're going to fix any issue that you see in the game and make it better. So we have to know what the issues are. I'm pretty sure I see most of them. Like, for example, energy is really hard to get now, and it's not feeling so good to a new player. I will say this is partly because, we weren't expecting a lot of you to play 22 hours in a row. But you guys are relentless. So yeah, part of it is kind of figuring out like what's the balance that we want when it comes to playtime versus earnings, all of this kind of thing. So yeah, we're working on some of that. What I'll say is we're going to do, again, daily updates when it comes to game balance. The first one that we're looking at is the pixel earnings. The pixel earnings feel wrong right now, and we need to fix them and make them better. So we have an update coming out in the next hour or so that should help some of this. And we'll do another update tomorrow that's going to look more into the higher level situation as well. We're pulling in some of the actual data. Reminder that the game has not even been live for 24 hours. And we're going pretty quick on this, I think, right? Maybe we need to do 2 updates a day. I don't know how possible that one is. But yeah, we're working really, really quickly to fix any of the concerns that you guys might have. And again, I personally think that earnings is the most important thing to fix some of the player sentiment. So we're focused on that right away. We have a couple people looking at this right now. An update should go out in the next hour or two that should increase some of your earnings inside of the game.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like we've seen a lot of this feedback already and addressed it. So that's good. Let's see. Okay. How are you looking at prioritizing balancing the game versus additional content like the Shoreline event? Okay, so first of all, the Shoreline event, I will dive into in a minute here. A little bit of a teaser behind me here, but that was planned like a few weeks back. So we knew that was coming, obviously, because it comes every summer solstice. But when it comes to stuff like this, it's a balance. It's really a balance between like a live ops kind of structure internally, but also game implementation and mechanics and all of that kind of thing. It is a fine balance, right? Because it's like, okay, how much focus should we have on new big releases, mechanics and whatnot versus live ops and fun events like this? So the good thing about the Shoreline event is because we built it out last year, it was 99% there and done. So the amount of work that it took to get it to the finish line was really marginal when you compare to the impact that it will have on sentiment, on community, on fun, and all of the good stuff. So for this one, it makes sense. It's a dev-free thing also. So it's really just on some of our game designer, producer, whatnot to get it to the finish line. So yeah, it's stuff like this where it's kind of like pre-built, dev-free. We can implement and execute really fast, and the impact it makes is absolutely worth it. However, yes, like Luke has been saying for the last 20 minutes, we have been diving in deep. We're on Twitter, we're on Discord, we're streaming with you yesterday and today. We're hearing all your feedback, and it's going right back to the game design team, the devs, everyone. We're having constant internal conversations about it all, and we will make it right. So
yeah, I will say I'm having the most fun I've had working on pixels in a really long time. This is a challenge. This is not easy to do, and this is why a lot of game companies don't do this, because if you want to do building in public like we do, and you want to release updates like this in the state that we did, you have to be really, really on top of your response time to making the changes that the players ask for. So what that means is, one, devs need to be very much online, and devs have to be pushing out the updates and writing the code really quickly. We have to be getting all the feedback from you guys very quickly too, communicating that to the devs, making good decisions around what feedback we should take, and how we solve these issues. And it's not easy. It's like a big puzzle that we have to figure out. It's like this own game that we're playing, but I'm having such a good time doing this. The pressure's on. We completely understand that if we mess this up, we're going to lose a lot of your trust, and we probably will lose a lot of players too. So we know the stakes are high, and we are making our best promise to you guys that we'll fix these issues, we'll make it feel better, and we're going to work on all of this. So if you feel upset about that, I'm really sorry. We're trying our best here, and we're going to make the game better and better. The reason why we're doing this, chapter 2 is really, really important for the things that we're working on, right? It's no secret that there were a lot of bots that were abusing chapter 1 mechanics, and a lot of bots were taking pixel away from real players. Now, bots are an interesting conversation inside of Web3 gaming, because if you just focus on things like user metrics, bots kind of make your game look better, right? We're seeing a lot of games on Telegram hitting 100 million users, but I think we all know that that's not 100 million real users, right? What we're trying to focus on now is focusing on our real users and focusing on that number. We don't really care so much about the DAU number. We care about the other metrics that are relevant to the game's success. What Pixels is trying to do right now is we're trying to make play to earn work forever. We want to make play to earn something that actually works and more games do, and that eventually Web 2 game devs will feel comfortable working on and making their games play to earn, because they've seen the success that we've had when it comes to figuring out the really hard problems of Web 3 gaming. Some of those are who gets earnings, how do you distribute these earnings, how do you not give earnings to bots, and this is a key step in us getting there. So we have one metric that we're looking at when it comes to ecosystem success over the next 6 months, and that will be net ecosystem spend. Essentially, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we made a game that's fun enough for you guys to actually use the pixel token in ways that make the game more fun. So spec upgrades is a really good example. We've seen some good promise there. I think we've gotten, like, I did the numbers like a couple hours ago, 600,000 pixels spent in 20 hours, which translates to like $150,000 of revenue just through spec upgrades in like 20 hours, right? And that's just one feature of the gameplay that we're introducing too, right? Like, we want to give you guys more interesting things to do with the gameplay and with things like this, where if you want to use the pixel token inside of the game, it's an option now. And we're basically going to go and do more stuff like that. So in order for us to actually achieve our goals, what we need to do is we need to make the game really fun, and we need to make you guys want to play the game and use the token inside of the game. Now, if you're also earn motivated, we think that you're a really good player too. But what we're trying to do also is we're trying to shift the earnings towards later in the game. Here's the key point that we're trying to do. The single best thing in marketing that we can do inside of gaming is if we have players who are further through the game making a lot of pixel. What we want to do is we want to make players who are in the end game of pixels make a lot of pixel to make the players who are earlier in the game jealous. That's really good marketing. Basically, what it will do is it will make people feel more motivated to go through the tiers and the progression and get through the game. So if we're not making it so that players who are higher levels are getting more pixel, we're actually failing with the main goal inside of chapter 2, at least in the very beginning of it. So we're working on that. I think there's some bugs in the task board right now that we need to fix because it doesn't look like that's actually happening. But again, you should be seeing more pixel earnings. So that's kind of the goal here.
Okay. Mining sucks. We hate this mechanic. I dread this experience. Please change it. It's a little dramatic, but I appreciate your feedback. I will say a lot of you guys, a lot of the comments right now are all about, oh, mining, mining, mining. I don't get enough. I've said this many times, but you guys need to stay patient and need to keep going because it gets better the higher tier you are. So like internally when we were testing, after X amount of time testing the new player experience, we started testing the existing player experience and then the like super high tier player experience. And let me tell you, once I had leveled up really high, I was pulling the craziest stuff from the mines. It gets better the higher tier you are, the better tools you have, the higher tier the mine is. So just keep going. You guys are all at like that tier 1 right now. You got to keep pushing. Okay. When stack Genesis runners, or should we get other shoes that cost pixels? Okay, so if you guys have been like noticing, we have a new wardrobe feature. Now, I don't think any of the wardrobe right now involves like utility. It's mostly just like looking really cool. Maybe we're definitely going to implement like a lot of rare t-shirts, that kind of like fun stuff in there. But I think it would be cool to implement like a little bit of utility with some of these things. So maybe in the future, that's like a future update. But right now, yeah, you can't stack them. And if you have two, it doesn't make you double faster. All right. Okay. Why don't we take a little break right now? We have a really exciting guest with us that's going to come up and talk to you guys. So, we're going to bring up Tyler. If you guys have been around for a while, you've seen Tyler here and there. You might have noticed him running around the game, hopping into Discord occasionally. So Tyler is our game producer. He's super involved in the implementation and the design process of the game. So I begged him to come up today and answer some of your questions. So what I would love from you guys is some more like game design specific questions that would work for him. Maybe I'll get Tyler to here we go. Tyler, here we go. There he is with some cool glasses on.
Hello. Is this on?
What's up? Yeah, we're here. What's up, Tyler?
Oh, I'm enjoying watching this AMA. Love the energy also. I know Luke's on, I see him on Twitter just answering everyone. And I'm starting to bookmark a lot of them too, save for myself because there's a lot of feedback coming in fast. So like get a task boards in your house sign and bucks galore, and I'm sprinting and making a sign, trying to migrate it to prod. It's fun. So we're having fun with this too. And yes, Heidi did beg me to come up here, but I'm here.
I begged him. So you guys have to ask some really good questions about more like, yeah, game design, implementation and stuff. Tyler, do you maybe want to give us a rundown of some things to expect with a Shoreline event?
Well, yeah, I saw the Handhouse question there about how we balance all this. Well, it's not up to us. Shorelines grow every year on this day. It just happens. So we figured, why not make a beach party out of it? So yes, the shorelines, they become available on summer solstice. So yeah, parties happening. We'll be on the beach, everyone hanging out, and hopefully you'll get something, win some prize, complete some quests. Heidi will probably be there, as you can see in the background. Background, by the way, so your name's like backwards. But
is it backwards? To me, it's not backwards. Okay, because I purposely flipped it because I thought it looked backwards. Should I put it back the other way?
It's okay.
What the heck?
But yeah, we'll all be on the beach. I think one of the most fun things about last year was all of us on the beach together, all hanging out for a day. So the grow time won't be as fast as last year because it just make it a little bit more of a relaxing experience. I think last year we were all spam clicking, go. You know, we're on the beach, new song, Shoreline, new juicery will be there. So yeah, it'll run for 24 hours and you'll be able to produce some Shoreline made and we'll have a good time.
Love it. Yeah. So it starts at, is this better? Is it the right way now?
Yes, there we go.
That's so strange. Okay. Anyways, it looks backwards to me. So yeah, the Shoreline event will start at 4 p.m. UTC, which is 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 Eastern, you know, and it will last 24 hours. You'll be able to plant some shore limes. You're only able to plant them on the beach. And yeah, you'll be able to craft shore limeade, which is an energy boosting drink. There's going to be a little quest involved, which will give you like a fun little item, which is on the screen right now. So you can guess. But anyways, yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited. Love shore limes. There are some shore lime tasks. I think they might increase a little bit on the task board for a few weeks. So yeah, it'll be fun. And then we have the Pixel Chibi energy party is happening also, I think Friday morning at it's 7 a.m. my time, which would be I think 2 p.m. UTC. All of the source of truth for all of the times is Discord, so go take a look over there, or the internal calendar. I have not added shore limes in there yet because it was sneaking up on us, so I'll go ahead and add that really soon to the in-game calendar. But yeah, things are coming, and I'm excited. We'll have the Pixel Chibi party on the beach itself, so you won't even have to leave. You'll just be able to keep planting. And I'm just going to say this ahead of time because I can already guarantee the comments. If there are so many people standing on the plots and you can't collect your shore limes when they're ready to harvest, go to another world, okay? Go to an empty world or a less busy world, and you'll be able to see your precious harvest. All right. Okay.
Seeing a lot more questions. Yeah, there's some good stuff here. So here's a good question. Hey guys, please fix the farming mechanism. Now it's pointless and distracting. Farming has to be the base mechanic of Pixels like it always has. Please make it simple and meditating again. Yeah, this is one thing I'm looking at a lot here. I'm about to pull up. Here, this might take me a minute. I'm about to pull up Cloud White's land. The Dust Bowl is what he calls it. Yeah, it's a funny world. But yeah, one of the things that we're trying to figure out is the NFT land gameplay as well too. Like this is one of the areas where I was like, okay, this might need some tweaks as we move forward. Like, can 5,000 land support all these players? And if it can, how do we do this? It's interesting because like there's been a lot of talk with the landowners that the gameplay isn't like suited enough for them. One thing that you have to think about is we're actually going to have a lot of the earnings associated with tier 3 and tier 4 resources in the long run. This is going to be some of the live ops tweaking that we're doing, where early on we want to make sure that you guys are getting more earnings in chapter 2 than you did in chapter 1. And a lot of you guys are still in the early game progression. So that means in like tier 1 and tier 2 resources, we probably need to buff the earnings a little bit. But then the other part of the equation too is as you guys start to progress through the game a little bit more, we're going to start shifting the earnings back to the tier 3 and the tier 4 resources, which are only available on NFT lands. So there should be a lot more people who want to be farming on NFT lands. And is 5,000 enough for that? Who knows? I'm trying to pull up this land right now because it's hilarious. The Dust Bowl, basically Cloud White covered an entire world all in soil. And I'm looking at it and I'm seeing basically like 4 or 5 players that cover the entire land, which isn't, maybe enough, right? Like if you're saying like 5 players can take up like all 5,000 lands, it supports like 25,000 people. So there might need to be some tweaks there. Maybe what we do is we end up making NFT land bigger. Maybe what we do is we change how the farming works a little bit too. But I agree, as a player of Stardew Valley or Sunhaven or Littlewood, Harvest Moon, like all this kind of stuff, like the reason why I want to build pixels in a farming type of game is because that's the kind of game I like. I remember the first time I played Stardew Valley, I loved it because I just like chilling out. My favorite type of game is either a walking simulator where there's really like no point in the game besides walking around. But I like it because there's just like nice atmospheres. I like looking at new scenery. Just like in my day-to-day life too. I love hiking, things like that. And then farming is nice too because I actually love farming in real life and gardening and chilling out, relaxing, that kind of stuff too. And that's one of the core game mechanics that a lot of you have liked inside of Pixels too. So we'll make some tweaks there if we need to, essentially. I know it's changed a little bit with the systems in mind, but it also might need some adjustment in the long run too. So this is the kind of stuff that we need feedback from you guys on, because this is like the most important time at Pixels. If you have something that you don't like, let us know and we might make a change. Like the race car bed, for example. Yeah, maybe you can We
Yeah,
showed that
here.
in the live stream yesterday. Here, oh, I'm at the Dust Bowl now.
Oh, I just got here too. Do you want me to show? Or are you good?
Here, I can show it quickly.
No, we see what you post on Twitter. I definitely see it. It's always fun. You scroll, bookmark some things. I see your requests. And this one's
hilarious. Yeah, so Cloud White just covered this entire land, and
That's
soil.
wild.
And he
Well,
left it
there's
open to
some
the public too.
Yeah, there's some free spots in there. So
yeah, I was surprised when I saw that. But yeah, look, it's like 6 or 7 people.
2690.
And I think these people that planted on the land.
And there's a bunch of dead ones. If you guys
I
want some
know.
rainbow seeds,
I
come
think
and
they filled
collect.
out the entire land, and then they ran out of energy because they filled out the entire land and couldn't harvest in time.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there's a ton of dead crops. So if you
Yeah.
guys want some free seeds.
So this is maybe an issue too. One piece of feedback that we got, or like one improvement that we might be able to make here, is we might make it so that landowners can remove crops early or something like that, right? If it's your land, you should probably have the right to do that. So there's like tiny tweaks like that that might make sense as well. So this is the kind of feedback and like the ideas that we want from you guys. Remember, we like to have this mindset that this is your game. You know, we made some changes that maybe you didn't like initially, but this is your game at the end of the day, and we want to make a game that players like and love and enjoy. So we're going to basically take a lot of the ideas from our community and make them, you know, actually happen and come to life.
See, I'm just taking them. They're dead. Mine now, guys.
This is an opportunity to get some free seeds if you come to the Dust Bowl.
Here we go.
The Dust Bowl, what a name.
The Dust Bowl. How funny.
It is pretty cool and unique. I was telling Luke and Heidi the other day that they've done over 100 AMAs and they haven't missed a week.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. Like, how many times do you get to experience this? Like, you guys suggest things and you're going right into the game. You're really driving what we're building. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and great feedback yesterday of like us actually, you know, hanging out, playing the game with you. Like, we'll do more of that. I had a blast yesterday, so we can definitely do stuff like that more often. Look at how many people are here now. Everyone's just collecting all the dead seeds. They're all mine. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have shared. Everyone go. I'm stealing them all.
I already have like so many ideas coming to mind with
here's a good thing. So lessen the energy cost in industries. I lost over 500k coins in leveling skills. So I will say one thing that you have to think about here too is leveling up is a coin sink if you want to do it really quickly. So there's a bit of a trade-off that you have to think about too. Some of you have grinded to get crazy metalworking skills extremely quick, and it was probably pretty expensive to do that too. A lot of the game balance that we've been thinking about has been thinking about if you're a new player starting fresh, what's your experience leveling up look like? For example, the spec upgrades is a really good example. We wanted to balance spec upgrades to be a little bit cheaper because we actually had made it so that if you are a free-to-play player who has never played the game before coming into the game for the first time, you actually should earn enough coins in Pixel to buy a spec upgrade after 2 to 3 weeks. That's kind of the goal with that. Now, if you want to get it quicker, then you can come in with all the resources that you had into the game before, like a lot of you are doing, and get it really quick, right? But in the short term, you can also basically trade off some of the coins to level up quicker. So there's going to be some new interesting economics that the game is going to have. And there's some element of us just having to wait and see what the meta looks like too, right? So some of the immediate short-term things that we can do for Chapter 2 is increase the earnings and make sure the earnings feel right for the right players. And we're going to be doing daily updates on that. Some of the stuff that we have to do is basically kind of like wait and see for a week to see how the game actually starts shaping up as more people level up and get to the tier 3 and the tier 4. What's that look like? So yeah, there's a few like here and there things that we're going to be doing. The team is on it. That's what I can say. We basically have like a team-wide directive that once we release Chapter 2, we have to be very online. We have to be very responsive to updates because we know this is a very fragile time. And if we're not on top of things, we might lose your trust.
All right, we're just vibing now.
I forgot to mention Harvest Moon. Yeah, I played Harvest Moon on GameCube. Yeah, that's a great game too. Also, I think Harvest Moon got really popular in Japan. If you're a Japanese Pixel player, which I've seen a lot more Japanese Pixel players recently, actually. I think we're getting like a bit more buzzy there. Yeah, maybe you also played Harvest Moon before.
I don't even know which ones of these are mine.
Are you considering reducing the energy requirements? I think we're hearing a lot of feedback on the energy. One, you're not meant to play for 22 hours in a row, is what I'll say. So like if you are, you're definitely going to run out of energy. But the other thing too is that, yeah, the energy is a lot harder to get than it was before. So if we do anything, we probably won't reduce energy requirements. We might buff things like the VIP sauna or the general sauna, some other things that give you energy too. So we'll be kind of figuring out this kind of stuff.
Where are my seeds?
Yeah, and we know you guys hate the mind failures. You guys are getting PTSD from the Jimbara heads. We understand. Yeah, we'll take this to the design team. Maybe we can do something here. Maybe it doesn't make sense to take energy from the mines if you get a miss or all of that. What I can say is the easiest solution is to get a better pickaxe, because the better pickaxe that you have, the less failures you're going to get. If you have a tier 4 pickaxe and you're going on the tier 1 mines, you'll basically never get a failure. A lot of newbies not enjoying chapter 2. So there is some stuff that we'll have to figure out there when it comes to the new player experience. It's a lot different, right? And a lot of people just came from the Coinbase quest too. I was actually really surprised at how many new players in the live stream yesterday found out about pixels for the first time like 4 days ago through the Coinbase Learn quest. That was really cool to hear that. What a crazy time to just now be joining pixels, is what I'll say too. This is like such a chaotic but also exciting time for that reason. So yeah, we're also working on a new player experience too. So like, again, give us your feedback, because this is what we're going to be looking at very, very closely. Again, what we want for the new player experience to feel like is we want to feel very achievable to hit goals if you have nothing in your inventory. And it's a balance, right? Because sometimes like long-standing players might think that's unfair. So we have to kind of balance some of the different people. But the new players are actually probably the most important piece to Pixel's success in the long run, right? Like if we want to hit 10 million players across an ecosystem, we need to build out games that are also really good for the like first user experience. So I can give you some transparency into our strategy. When we were building out chapter 2, our first focus was on, believe it or not, the existing users. Like that was one of the key directives to the team. If we build a game that all of our existing users feel like they're screwed on, or they feel like it's very unfair, we're going to lose all of our users, and we can't do that. So we have to basically make these changes, change some things out, and like make the game feel good for you guys. And then once this game starts to feel really, really good for our existing user base, that's when we'll start to focus on new user growth. So one thing that we haven't done yet is we haven't done a lot of our growth strategies that we did during the play the airdrops or other periods. Like for example, when we make people share things on Twitter, or when we add like a referral bonus. Like one thing that we'll probably do in the next couple of months is add in a referral bonus if you bring in new players and if they get to a certain level. So that'll really, really juice up the growth when we do that. We're holding off on that. We're holding off on going for like another really big DAU push until we make sure this game feels really good to all of you. So again, we're going to be responding to feedback really quickly. We're going to be making sure that we make the changes that you guys ask for. And then, yeah, it might take a couple of weeks, but we'll get there, I promise. Any update on pet streak? Yeah, so I think there was a very small section of users. We saved most of your pet streaks. I think there's like a couple dozen that might have got destroyed, which just sucks. I'm so sorry. We tried our best to make sure that they're good. If you lost your pet streak, I think we can save it if you put in a ticket, is what I can say.
Yeah, please reach out to support. So dashboard, little green button in the bottom right. Okay, actually, this might be a good question for Tyler.
Uh-oh.
To date, the game has only had one central world centered in Terravilla. Can we expect an option of new worlds in the future, some kind of greater expansion, like the discovery of new continents?
That's a great question. Yeah, so now you could see the world kind of has its set fixed piece of Terravilla. You've got the beach. So we did have a slight expansion. If you could take a boat off of Terravilla and you land in Neokia of Cyberkongs, which is pretty cool. There's the Mochaverse, where you could fly up into the sky. But yes, through the caves, I've heard some rumors that there are some far discovered lands that can be found and will be found soon. And there will be a lot of exploration, a lot of discovery, and maybe you'll compete for some of those continents. I don't know. Take ownership of it for a few months. Not sure, but maybe.
Love it.
That's a funny comment. Don't tell me how much I can play. I thought this was our game.
Fair. Sorry.
Okay. Other couple of things too. People are asking for the Square NFT lands. So yeah, I mean that actually might make sense. It might make sense to increase the size of NFT lands too, just because of all of this. That's some of the balance that we'll figure out. Tyler's the one to ask for the Square lands, honestly.
Yeah, Tyler's already designed it out. It's like
I'm
ready.
good to do it. I'm ready to do it. There was I wanted to do it, but there was a slight complication with the NFT lands that had already been worked on, why we couldn't get it out. But I hear you. I had a lot of discussions over the past week about it, and I'm ready to do it. But make noise, and we'll bring that back to the team and probably get it done.
Okay, yeah. Also, this is a good point too. So because some of the mechanics on land have changed, like for example, you used to have a lot of different people that could farm resources on your land. Now there's less people that a land can support. Your surplus is a little bit less. This might be something that we need to buff, right? It's 1% right now. Maybe it makes sense for us to buff it like 5% or like something like that too. So I'll take this back to the design team. Actually, this is a pretty good point on the land surplus. For those of you who don't know, if you own the NFT land, when somebody else farms on it, you get 1% of what they farm. You don't take it away from them. It's not a tax, it's a surplus. We might need to buff this a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, still some questions about like nerfing cooking and grills and stuff. So we talked a lot about this yesterday on our live stream, but you guys really have to like rethink um how things are balanced. Chapter 2 is it's almost like a whole new game, right? So like some things that maybe had like really high energy or really high value or whatnot in chapter 1 will be lower. And then the opposite, there'll be a lot of things that have now like a lot higher value in chapter 2. So there's just like a lot of different changes. It's going to take some time to get used to it. Yes, of course, we are paying attention. We are going to work on balancing, but you really got to just like have a different mindset. This is chapter 2. This is like a whole new version of the game.
Yeah, and this is one of the things too. So like for example, cooking is a lot different now, right? And it doesn't give the same like net energy ROI. We think this is okay, but we're gonna have to like see how it goes after a week. So like I think cooking is one of those things where our thought process here is one, you can't eat the fruit anymore, so you have to cook for it. We think there's going to be a secondary market for cooking items now where that actually might be an interesting job for somebody to do, right? If you don't like mining and you like cooking, now you might actually just want to focus on cooking because other people might buy this stuff from you, right? So part of what we have to think about is game economy too. Like you're really not supposed to be able to do everything all at once. Chapter 2 now introduces specialization, right? So you can either kind of generalize and get a little bit less done or specialize and kind of maximize your coin earnings, right? And then you can use the coins to go buy some stuff for the marketplace, to go into the task board, all of this kind of stuff. But yeah, we're working on that kind of stuff now too. So this is the kind of meta that we're gonna have to balance with all of you guys, right? So we have to get like a little bit of playtime with all of our users to figure out what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. But again, we want the game to feel good for all of you.
Okay, I love this question because this is something that we've talked about literally since day 1 at Pixels. How do we make more activities like parties, events more interactive? If you guys have ideas, please let us know because I want to hear what you want to
So
do.
I don't know, Mike, you were there last year for the Shoreline event, but I do think tomorrow's party does provide you with energy and will be an event, but you're all going to be doing something together at a location. So I do think it is more fun. And I think that we can build from the event from last year, which we're kind of doing. But yeah, I've kind of ready. We did the when. I don't know if you're around for the when tasks, but that was daily different events. You can call them parties, you can call them activities, but there's a lot of potential for what we can do. And I'm personally excited for tomorrow to get that rolling again because we've been very, very much focused on this release. But now that this game's out and there's a lot of stuff to do, we could even then start layering on way more events with unique gameplay. So let's do it.
Yeah, here's another comment. Will there be another pixel task frequency change? Yeah, so we're updating this today. It should go live in the next hour or two. We don't even need a hard update to do this. I think some of the task board stuff is bugged. we're looking into some of it. What should be happening is you should be earning more pixel than you were before. And if you're not and you're a high level, then something's wrong. So this is one of the things we'll be looking into today really closely. One update is going to go today where we're going to start increasing the rewards. So you should start to see a lot higher frequency and weights of some of the tasks. And then we're going to look more into some of the other stuff too as we dig into the data of like who's earning what. And we're going to kind of shift some of the balance to make sure that more of the players who are further through the game are also earning a lot more pixel. Again, we said this a little bit earlier in the AMA, but I truly believe the best marketing for the game will be to make it so that higher level players earn a lot of pixel. And if they do, that should be a lot of motivation for new players to come in and get through the game more too.
Okay, I just saw a comment, same guy yesterday was having trouble removing their tree. Use the net. Use the net.
Yeah, I thought the same thing with that net. I was
Yeah.
like, what? I didn't remember. Why did we do this? I don't remember.
Played all night till 10 a.m. Yeah, you guys are insane. Like the people, you guys that have like already reached, there was someone that reached like 40 metalworking. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Please sleep. Don't get sick.
And I can
want
tell
you
you is
to-
I played Pixels on my phone, chapter 2 for the past 2 months every single night.
every day.
And I couldn't stop. It's like I kept coming back. I personally was really enjoying the new gameplay. So I hope you guys are too, but obviously lots we can improve.
I was just with these two. We were just together last week, and Tyler was like nonstop, like addicted, just on his phone, on his computer, constantly.
I was trying to get bigger land upgrades all week, and I almost got it right at the end. And
oh, this is a good question.
Tyler?
It's been months since our gacha addiction is fed. When Carnival open? I think Tyler has best idea when Carnival's
Tyler,
open.
yeah,
I think we're shooting for this week, right?
Yeah, we were shooting for this week. Lost internet one day. We were together, kind of set things back, and then yesterday we had some things that were close to release, but because of the timing and everything moving, it was just an additional thing that wasn't 100% tested. So got this out of the way. Shoreline is ready, and we're working on a few things to use up some of your game tickets. We are working on a new Carnival game, which does need polishing. We're not really there yet. And then I know when I was on the YouTube with these guys last time and walking around, I teased a little box, but then I walked away before you could see it open.
That was cruel.
Well, I didn't know.
If you guys were on it last week, and Luke and I were just watching a team member like play the game. It was Tyler.
Yeah, it was funny. They were like pro YouTube streamers as I was going, like they were the news anchors. But yeah,
it became a react channel.
A few things we want to get to the finish line, but proper release, just got to make sure it gets QA'd. So QA going through it, making sure it's all working, polish it up a little bit, and then make sure we open that up for, I don't know, we all want like mystery boxes and stuff, and like making utility for tickets to potentially win stuff. It's fun. So the gacha will be coming. I told Heidi I didn't want to come on this call so I could work on it, but I decided to come.
Okay.
Don't you do that.
Okay, so this is a good point too. Give more benefits to VIP, like when using industries, all energy costs will be 20 to 50% reduced. Yeah, what I'll say is we want to make VIP worth it. VIP is actually the biggest revenue driver inside of Pixels. Pixels has we're averaging $2.5 million US dollars in monthly recurring revenue right now, mostly through VIP, which is pretty good. What we want to do is we want to get to like hundreds of millions in monthly revenue, like a game like Monopoly Go or something like that. So there's a lot of room to go. But VIP is like one of the most important things inside of the ecosystem now. So it's changed a little bit what it's useful for inside of chapter 2. I think we need to buff it to make it more worth it too. So I'll talk to the team about this too. I think one of the easiest things we can do is more VIP energy in the short run, because you guys really need energy. And then I think what I want to do in like the next couple weeks too is we're going to start introducing more loot box mechanics. And I think it'd be really cool to give VIPs free loot boxes also. So we'll do some stuff like that. I kind of like to view VIP as like a battle pass.
Okay, I actually love this. Tyler loves this. We love stuff like this. How about having an item of the month that is only obtainable for that month and will never come back, like a cosmetic item? So yeah, we've done this in the past. So actually, like the Shoreline event last year gave out those tikis as like a little prize for completing the quest. Those are not coming back this year. There's something else coming this year that will only be obtainable tomorrow. Obviously, one day is kind of short, but we like doing stuff like this. And I think yeah, like through the boxes to events. Yeah, Tyler, do you have any input here?
Yeah, no, I think a big focus, and there, like, you see like little mechanics, like the bed covers, just like cool, fun things. So we unlocked, like, we never were really able to do like a skin before. So we unlocked a few of those floor tiles, wallpapers, all stuff to just, I don't know, deck out your house, interior design, deck out your avatar, stuff that we can give as rewards. And then, yeah, limited supply rewards. We love that. Limited time, stuff like that. Creates a cool market around it and makes people want to come back and play. So, yeah, kind of like.
Okay.
All right. This is actually a Tyler question. Where do I get bricks?
Bricks are in the Stone Shaper. Is that a test?
Yeah. There you go. Okay.
Okay, here's a good question. So yeah, we got reports of this from some people. Some people did a lot of tasks and got no pixel. I think that's a bug. That is not supposed to happen. We did not nerf pixel rewards. In fact, we got rid of so many bots with the chapter 2 update. Like, just from that alone, your pixel rewards should increase per user. There's something going wrong with that. We're looking into it. We have an update coming today that should fix some of this, and I think we need another update after that. But there's something wrong with the task board right now where some of you aren't getting the pixel that you should be getting.
Okay. Okay, this is like, I feel like you don't have a really strong grasp on chapter 2 yet, which is totally fine. There's a lot in chapter 2. But yeah, guys, plain and simple, why don't you like high level players and especially landowners? Whereas
You guys are who we like the most.
We love you guys so much. And I think, like, if we use like the mines as an example, right? Everyone right now, level playing fields, you're all tier 1 mines. That it's hard to pull good stuff, but the more you level up, the better it will be, right? And so I think a lot of you guys that are at really high level mines can probably just like bang it out really fast and get those higher tiered ones implemented and ready to go. And then obviously you have to have a NFT land to use the tier 3 and tier 4s, right? So like it's literally designed for you. So just keep playing and you'll see.
Yeah, another report of that. Been playing for more than 8 hours and still no pixel task. That seems wrong to me. It seems broken. I'm gonna take this to the team. I've been telling the team this is the highest priority thing. We need to make sure that the earnings feel right to users, because this is a play to earn game. If the game isn't feeling good with that, then we can't expand the game further. So that's part of what we're trying to do over the next month or two too. What we want to do is we want to make sure that the earnings feel good and fair to you guys. So that does mean that we want to start shifting earnings if you're a higher level. Like, we want to create a system where the higher level that you are, you're going to earn more. It makes the game a bit more anti-bot if we do that. And then it also does like some interesting economics and incentives that way too. Like, you have to put in your time. You have to do your dues before you start earning a lot of pixel. But yeah, there's something broken right now. We'll get to the bottom of this. This is probably the highest priority right now.
Okay, I can't believe it, but we actually only have 3 minutes left. Is there anything you want to address before we have to hop off?
Yeah, so again, we're going to stay really, really active on social media, in Twitter and Discord. So again, let us know what you like and don't like about chapter 2. I don't believe in FUD. I think if you're commenting on pixels, it's because you care about it and you want to see it better. So feel free to say whatever you want about it. And if you say some stuff, say it nicely. We respond a lot nicer to kind feedback is what I'll say.
Yeah, don't be mean.
Yeah, don't be mean. But again, like, if you see any things that you like and don't like about chapter 2, let us know. Let us know things you like too, because that's helpful also.
Speaking
Mhm.
of things that you like, we have a giveaway going on right now. I posted it on Discord yesterday, mentioned it in our live stream, but comment on our release tweet what your favorite part of chapter 2 is. Enter to win some tier 4 items. I think 4 tier 4 picks, tier 4 axes, and then we're also giving away some VIP coupons. So make sure you go and enter that. Don't leave without giving away some VIP passes. Exactly. So go and enter the contest, and hopefully you win. Amazing.
All right. So yeah, key point here. Lots of live ops, lots of updating, lots of things that we're going to have to change in chapter 2 to make it feel better for all of you. We think it's a good start. We think a lot of the feedback's been really positive. We think the gameplay is better, but it's still not perfect. So our promise to you guys is that we'll be here, we'll be active, we'll be monitoring everything. and the team is on it. We understand how important it is to be extremely responsive to feedback in the next week or two. We want to make sure that we have your guys' trust, and there's a lot to do. So let's freaking get it.
Yes, let's go. And we'll see you at the Shoreline event. Once again, starts at 4 p.m. UTC tomorrow. All of the local time zones will be posted in Discord and the in-game calendar. It is posted in UTC time on our Twitter already. So you will get an announcement really soon about all the information you need to know about the Shoreline event. But yeah, last 24 hours, starts 9 a.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. UTC. Plant a bunch of shorelines. You're going to be able to craft shoreline made. And there is a little quest involved that will have a unique prize at the end of it that you can only get during those 24 hours, and it will never come back. So yeah, fun stuff. We'll see you there.
Thanks, everyone.
There.
Bye, guys.